Hello and welcome back to Heiser Media's tournament coverage of the Lake Marshall Open presented by Prodigy Discs. It has been an exciting final round out here. I'm Emily Dale and I'm joined by Nathan Johnson.
Exciting is an understatement. We've had a lot of action, a lot of movement. We've been checking in with the Chace card here and there. Those guys are all looking to make a push. But Harry Chace is still holding on to the lead at 16 under par for the tournament. We'll see if he can close it out.
And here's that leaderboard you're talking about. We're seeing quite a bit of movement here from our Chace cards as we see a tight race up at the top. Look at that.
Yeah, just
a couple strokes.
Yeah, started out the round with a 5-stroke lead. Harry did. It is down to 1 as we jump right into hole 10, an 839-foot par 4. Very downhill tee shot. You're looking to push something as straight as possible all the way to the bottom of this hill. From there, most players will have just a nice smooth backhand hyzer into the green, but the danger of this hole comes on that tee shot. Very demanding shot shape and very punishing if you leak it off to the left or the right.
Yeah, I know you mentioned in the beginning, but very few par 3s out here over at the Lions course.
Out of bounds start that early?
And unfortunately, it seems like he stayed over in the woods a little bit. He might be just a foot or two in that he'll have a reach out, but
yeah,
it's really a blind shot.
Yeah, not enough on that one to get to the bottom. And if you're not at the bottom, you're not going to have an angle into the green. It's such a tight dog leg to that left side that you need to really bite off plenty of distance on the tee shot to have a chance. Eli throws his drive very well. Definitely is going to be in position to attack for birdie. Wow, that one was smoked.
That'll do.
Great shot from Ian there. Puts himself in position. Harry started out the round playing so consistently, just staying in the fairways, taking pars, a couple birdies here and there, but stumbled on 8, had a tough scramble on 9, and that is a great way to bounce back and get himself back in position.
Yeah, and here's what we're talking about. I mean, he's so pinched off. He's honestly trying to just get out there, but does a good job at that. The angle is deceiving.
Yeah, it's hard. And I'm sure Ethan was thinking the same thing because it's very hard to tell when you throw those little chip shots on this hole, layups, how close that out of bounds is at the bottom of the hill. So good touch from him. Eli, a little pinched off after his drive, but does stay in bounds, it looks like. So he'll have some sort of birdie putt coming up.
Yeah, and huge shout out to Prodigy for putting on this event, but also thank you to Rob Stark and Blue Chip Technology to the support to help make this event happen. I know it brought a ton of really high caliber players in, and it's always a great event out here. And without the support of these folks, it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, always grateful for our tournament sponsors for making this happen. Ian and Harry both with well thrown up shots after pretty much identical drives off the tee. Going to give themselves a couple of birdie putts as Ethan Owens is starting to heat up, drops one in from deep. What a par save.
Here's a question. Do you match your putters or do you like mismatched putters?
I'm a matching putters kind of guy. Eli just a bit high, maybe if the putters were the same color. Who knows? We'll never know.
Let us know in the comments.
Please do. Oh, Harry just a bit off right side again. Can't quite get it to stick. Ian's had some struggles on the putting green today on the front 9. See if he can get some of that confidence back here from about 20, 22 feet. It's a nice stroke.
I'd say so. Great putt.
Harry's going through it seems, but he's still in the lead, so hold on, kid. Hole 11, par 4, 915 feet. Another terrifying tee shot. You got this big left to right slope, a ripping headwind off the tee every single time, and a super long, difficult, most likely backhand turnover into the green for these players. So demanding hole, 4.89 average is no joke. And step number one is make sure you commit to this tee shot. You want to hit something stable, flat and hard, and trust it to come out at the very end. This looks really well thrown from Ian if it gets some late stability. And it does.
Yeah, this is one of the first holes of the day where you don't have a million trees in your way. However, you'd still have that ripping headwind and OB, so you can't fully unleash without calculating still.
Yeah, especially with that headwind too. If you misjudge your stability of your disc, it will turn over and not come back because of that slope and wind. So very important to pick the right disc for your arm speed. And so far, these players have all thrown very, very well thrown shots to just pick something that pushes straight the whole way and eventually finds the hill. This one had a little too much hyzer from Harry. We'll see if it hangs on.
Oh my goodness.
God, he got the roll.
Oh, he better be happy with that one. That is a clincher.
Yeah, that could have gone either way. Seen many discs hit the top of that hill and do not come back inbounds. So fortunate break for Harry Chace. Ethan is doing what most players will do on this hole, which is just lay up to the flat and take a par, because it is two very long shots to get a birdie on this one. Harry, though, being at the top of the hill and on the left side, he's now in a great position where he can actually attack the green, but he's going roller. What?
Intentional?
Oh, definitely intentional. The angle he threw that out of the hand was definitely intentional, right. But with all the wind that's going on right now in the long grass, I just don't know. I don't know if that was the right decision, but hey, he's winning he is currently leading this tournament, so who am I to question that? Worth noting that basket you see in the distance is hole 17's basket, so not what these players are aiming for.
Ooh, a little slip there. But works out.
Yeah, I think that one might have made it into a putt for Ian.
Is slipping the play? I don't think so.
I mean, we've seen some famous slips in disc golf, and a lot of them have ended up as good shots. So maybe there's a new strategy.
I don't know.
Coming down the pipeline. Wouldn't recommend it personally, but you never know.
Here's where that roller ended up. He'll have a chip up into the green.
I love a pace of play tap in, you know?
Yeah.
Just tap it in, get out of the way. Keep it moving.
If you're ready. Mm-hmm.
Another birdie look for Ian, trying to make it back to back. This would be a great one to pick up, but just a bit left. Worth noting, only one birdie on hole 11. Guess who? Yeah, of course it's Justin Rozak. It's always going to be Justin Rozak.
It's always Justin.
Yeah, and this wind, obviously a very difficult hole to pick up. So all these players, hopefully, okay with picking up the par and keeping it moving. Obviously, Ian, after two great shots, would have loved to connect on that putt for birdie, but would have been a bonus birdie for sure if he was able to make it.
Yeah, 100%. Checking back in. We have Raven over here on hole 12. Teeing off. Can it fight? Oh, yeah, she stays good.
Yep, plenty of space over there on the right hand side of this fairway. Discs will disappear into kind of a little gully, but it's pretty hard to find the out of bounds long on the right hand side unless you turn something over. Although that one was flirting with it, but it does check up inbounds. Worth noting as we look at the leaderboard, Raven Newsom and Braeden sides both 5 under for the round going into this hole, and both within 1 stroke now of Harry Chace.
Hard to see, but stayed safe there on the other side of the hill.
Yeah, these second shots are blind since these players are throwing uphill again, but there is plenty of space in the middle part of this fairway where these players can land. As you see, not much in the way for Braeden. He's going to be well in position to approach the island green for birdie.
Zach getting a little bit aggressive, trying to get up to the top of the peninsula here.
Yeah, that was a well thrown shot. Most of these players are going to be looking at that 300-foot range as they approach this green. This one leaking out a little left for Raven. Oh, and that right to left wind just caught it. Oh, and it finds the out of bounds. I know the scoring average doesn't say it at a 5.35 average, but this might be the easiest hole to birdie on the course, just due to the fact that it's 3 stock shots of about 350 feet, which for these guys should be kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, I mean, you do have a ton of OB and a lot of wind, so...
Of course. I mean, yeah, in this wind, it is also the most open hole on the course. So, yeah, that is definitely a factor, and probably the main reason for most bogeys on this hole.
Yeah, you see, unfortunately, Raven did get OB maybe by 2 feet.
Yeah, so Raven with that bogey is going to drop back to 15 under. Braeden tapping in his birdie gets him to 16 and temporarily in a tie for the lead. But obviously, Chace Card is 1 hole ahead of our leaders. So. As we take a look now at the drone flyover for hole 12, we just saw the Chace Card play at 1,012-foot par 5. It is eagleable if you throw really far, which some of these players do. But in the wind today that we're having, I would be very surprised if anyone even considered going for it. Most players are just going to throw 350-foot stock shots and hopefully take away a birdie. But obviously that is much easier said than done.
Yeah, on paper, it looks like something a lot of these players would be wanting to take a bite off of for eagle, but with this wind, the OB, the water, it makes you make some different decisions when you're actually out on the course.
Yeah, I think Ian was actually going for it there. It looks like he was trying to take the aggressive line over the water and cut the corner, which is basically the only way that you can get the eagle on this one. But he obviously pulled that a bit and found that right side. Forehand here is something you do not see much, but as we've learned today, throughout the round, Ethan does throw quite a few of them.
You can just see that wind absolutely ripping.
Yeah, not a bad wind for the tee shot. That left to right kind of takes the water out of play if you're just throwing the safe hyzer. It'll just hold your disc a little bit straighter than you're most likely expecting. But it does make this shot and the upshot a lot scarier with that like head cross style wind.
You can see him calling for the save call there. Thankfully, did check up right before the water.
Yeah, probably a little closer than Eli was expecting it to be, but still safe as green is good, as they say. Harry with a also kind of close shot on the right hand side, but that one's also going to be just fine.
Great shot there as well. I mean, you really want to, for that final shot across the water, you want to get as close as you can for a more stress-free shot. So getting up to the tip of that point is ideal. And Eli played that wind great. He good wind read, kept it wide, crashed right by the basket. Ooh. Calling for it to go in there for Harry, but unfortunately did skip a little long. Probably was still within the circle. That'll do as well. So here we so you're good. Here we have Harry for a birdie, knocking it down. Oh no,
Ugh.
unfortunately. Bad reaction. And Eli is going to have to settle for par here on hole 12.
Yeah, just a bit low. Little wind drop, maybe. Good putt for Ian there. So, 3 pars and a birdie for our lead card on 12. Not the worst result.
Not too shabby. But here's what we want to see. Let's check in. We see Braeden pushing. He wants to get that repeat title, like you said, down 6 through 12.
In a great spot. Raven and Zach also very high quality rounds that they're putting together. So,
and we get to see some of it. Here's Braeden over on hole 13. Let us know in the comments what you think about this. I love being able to get to see, especially for a tight race like this, getting to see some of that chase card action, but I know it's new for the channel, so let us know how you feel about it. And it looks a little bit more protected over on this side from some of that ripping wind. As we do see Raven, however, get pushed down just a little bit, as I said that. This is what Raven is looking at up into the green.
oh my gosh.
Oh, check up. Oh no. No way. That is brutal.
Yeah, that's also the kind of shot that he's going to get up there, and he's going to expect to be parked, and he's not going to find his disc, which is pretty demoralizing.
And here's Braeden. He does hit an early tree, but does check up okay. He'll be left with a short putt there for his birdie.
Yeah, so now Raven has this for par after 2 good shots. And
Okay. Yeah, that's terrifying when you're heading uphill like that, especially after you're already rolling away and holding your breath. And a great birdie from Braeden.
yeah, that's killer. It's a great putt, elevated basket, 25-footer. Keeps him in contention. And just, yeah, tough bogey for Raven. That's going to put him 3 back of the lead now with 5 or so holes to play. Still definitely in it because there are plenty of stroke swing holes remaining. But the last 6 holes of this course in general are probably the most scoreable stretch on the entire layout. So whoever is going to win this tournament is probably going to have to birdie at least 3 or 4 of these final 6 holes if they want a chance, starting with this one, hole 13, 609-foot par 4. Anywhere on this hill is fine. The top of the hill is even better. If you can get to the top of the hill, you have one of the most stress-free birdies you'll see on the entire course. If you're at the bottom of the hill, it can be a little more difficult depending on which side of it you're on.
Looks like Harry took the middle.
Middle will work just fine. Ian, he's going for the top.
Ooh. Can it hold on? Ugh. That's going to be tricky.
Yeah.
He might have some lanes, but nothing straightforward or easy.
Yeah, this is the safer way to play the hole. Just a nice wide hyzer that lands at the bottom of that hill. And then he'll probably throw some sort of flex forehand from there. Uh-oh.
Come back.
Okay. Let's check up inbounds, but it's going to be an awkward lie over there and an awkward angle into the green.
Yeah, you're just happy to be safe at that point and have a chance to most likely be paying for par.
So flex forehand for Harry. Just kind of playing it down the left side. Hopefully it fades back into the hill. And then you just cross your fingers for good ground play. Even though, as we said earlier, it is completely blind. So you don't really know until you get up there.
Here's that angle you were talking about.
Yep. Actually got through pretty well and just didn't want to sit, though. And that one's going to be...
Yeah, it's a flashback to Raven's shot.
Yeah. Down at the bottom of the hill. I believe that was Ian's out from the woods on the left.
Good connection. Great birdie.
Wow, Ethan's putter has been on fire basically since hole 8. I don't think we've seen his putter hit the ground. It's been very consistent. A lot of long circle 2 looks that he's knocked down to really, put a really solid round together after a slow start.
And this is a scary putt too.
Oh yeah.
Nothing but air behind you, but doesn't worry Harry because he's probably checked the scores to see he's got Braeden hot on his tail. Got to keep the pressure on. Oh.
Yeah.
Fortunately, finding the cage.
Tough to get over the mid-round yips.
Yep, but he shrugs it off and walks away, and that's all we can ask for. Cutting back to the Chace card, look at hole 14. As we know, Braeden is hot on the tail of our leader here. Oh,
But yeah, it's not a great miss. Gonna be a tough scramble too from over there on the left side. This is more what you're looking for. Zach throws this shot beautifully. That is most likely going to be under the basket. Raven kicks left as well. You can see the danger on this one, even though it's only a 255-foot par 3, quite a ways uphill, probably 20 feet uphill, and you have many trees lining this fairway on either side that can kind of kick you left or right. So got to keep something straight. Some players will go for a baby flex forehand or just kind of a mid-range that pushes straight the whole way, depending on your preference. Wow.
oh, you hear them calling for it to ace, and it was certainly close. Scared the basket there.
Yeah, great shot from Harry. Really using that whole ceiling at his disposal. Just a bit pulled there from Ethan. That's a common miss on this one. You know, you're looking to get something uphill, push it straight. Catching that one tree on the right-hand side is a common result.
That tree has seen some things and done some things.
Ruined many a day. That's for sure. Good committed shot from Ian there. Doesn't quite flip up to flat though, so he catches a tree on the left side of the green. That'll be probably somewhere in the circle 2 range. Yeah, it's probably about a 50-footer.
Good commitment. Just to the left. Look at this.
Yeah.
Which means Harry has to be even closer for his birdie putt right back there. Man, that had to have been close for an ace. Oh, that's not even Harry.
Now Harry's
Oh my goodness.
Harry's parked. So yeah, maybe didn't quite have the height, but it's one of those when it's this uphill that it just looks like it's going in the basket the whole time, and then turns out to be, a couple feet short.
Drop-in birdies are still fine.
Yeah, I don't think Harry's going to complain about that result. That's for sure.
No.
Yeah, it's a big one. Got to keep himself with that cushion as long as possible. See what our Chace card is up to here on hole 15 now. Throwing their upshots into this green.
Yeah, this is a tricky angle for especially a lefty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not terribly thrown from Zach. It came up a bit short. He's probably going to have about a 30 to 35-foot downhill putt for his birdie. Much easier to attack for the righty backhand that Raven's going with, and that one leaked a little left of where he would have liked to throw it.
Here's Braeden, currently 2 strokes off of our leader.
Yeah, also a little left. You can see the basket there. Wind toying with these upshots for sure. And Zach.
Oh,
what a putt.
Cashes it.
That's a bit of a death putt too. Downhill, 40-footer. Puts him at 15 under par. Still in this thing. And Raven. Oh. A lot of chance.
I thought he had that one. That looked good.
Oh, wow. So no, it's just one birdie from Zach Arlinghaus from the Chace card on hole 15. Gives Harry a great opportunity to extend his lead. Taking a look at this hole, 747-foot par 4. Players looking to land down in the flat off their tee shot, and then most likely will be aiming for the rightmost gap here with a right-hand backhand to approach into this green, something that just finishes a little bit and slides up towards the basket. It's worth noting that they did bring the out of bounds on the left-hand side down to the bottom of the hill. So players definitely, where in years past they could get away with their disc fading out a little bit early, do not want to make that mistake anymore.
Yeah, definitely well placed. This is one of those holes where they can just pump it off the tee. So I like to see them bringing that in a little bit just to make you think a little bit more about that tee shot.
Yeah, then really, there in years past there wasn't much danger on this one. So now you at least have to think about it. Maybe rely on something slightly more on the understable side, just to get a little bit of extra turn, a little bit of extra distance. So 4 good looking tee shots from our lead card. Everybody going to be well in bounds, and 3 good so far. Still have Ian up.
And there we have 4 good
now
tee
we
shots.
have exactly. Now we have. So I was gonna say, hold your breath, everybody. Another commentator curse coming from yours truly. No, not this.
You're getting kind of good at that, huh?
I'm too good at it, so where I feel guilty. Just a little early and short there for Ethan. It's a common mistake on this hole too, because this upshot looks so close when you're standing over it, and then you throw the shot. You're like, oh yeah, it's probably just like a mid-range into the green, and then you throw it, and then you hit the side of the hill, and you realize it's a lot farther than it looks. So good.
Or you do that.
Yeah, good disc choice by Eli. Hits the gap with perfect speed control and slides it on up there.
Over there on the far left-hand side, kind of flirting with that OB, but crashes up. And this was a bomb.com for Harry.
Yeah, that's a crazy drive to get all the way to the far hill. Kind of try to take the backdoor route. There is a gap over there, but it's just a lot of late trees that you still have to miss, and I think Harry caught one of them on his way in, so we'll see what he's left with. Just a little pitch up there for Ethan, and Harry caught quite early, so he's just gonna have to settle for par as well.
Good little par save. No harm done.
Yeah, 3 pars and a birdie on the lead card is a bit surprising on this hole after those all 4 quality drives. You'd expect a couple guys to get a closer look, but it is not an easy upshot. So we take one more look at the leaderboard. 3 holes left, and it is a 2-stroke game at the top. Taking a look at hole 16 this year, a par 3, 332 feet. There is a longer basket position, but due to significant rain this year, it is pretty flooded back there. And we are playing the short par 3 position, 332 feet. So most players just take a nice little putter, throw it straight at it, and see what happens.
Word on the street, beavers are also culprits.
This is the rumors, yes, for the flooding. It was a good looking shot from Eli. It leaked out a little early. We'll see how far it snuck through. Little splash town there for Harry. Finds the casual creek on the right-hand side.
This did play as the easiest hole in the day. Like you said, you're playing the shorter position, so that's to be expected. But we did have 2 aces.
Insane.
One of which was from our Chace card, which spices things up just a little bit more as Raven snagged an ace just after our cameraman turned around and started filming a different card.
I know.
Unfortunately.
Terrible timing.
Tragic. Still a great ace, though.
Yep, and shout out to Andrew Cochran as well for the other ace on the day. Eli just a bit off there on his birdie putt. Ethan seeing if he can drain another one from circle 2.
From the creek from circle 2. The commitment there.
Yeah, just got stuck in the mud.
Get that man some Vessies.
Nice. tough 3-putt there for Eli. Kind of had some tough footing on his comebacker, it looked like, and just didn't quite get the commitment. Ian also weird little spot. Not sure if you should take casual relief, play it where it is, accept the mud foot. Looks like he's just gonna putt it from the lie. Just not his day on the putting green. Don't worry, Harry. We're in a literal canyon on the backside of the course. There shouldn't be any wind on this putt. Probably the calmest putt he's had all weekend. And is able to connect. So big birdie for Harry Chace. Gets him to 20 under par. And I mean, he's really turned it around. Four birdies in the last 5 holes is really what you have to do at the end of your rounds here if you want to finish strong. Braeden sides.
I know we keep saying it, but look at these scores on this Chace card. My goodness.
Yeah, you guys are shredding, really making a move. That was a big putt that Braeden was not able to connect on. So he's going to have to settle for par on 17, this 285-foot par 3. Got OB all around. It's not really an island because there is plenty of space out on the right-hand side of the green, but plays as a virtual island on this tee shot because if you come up short or long, you will be out of bounds. Harry kind of smoked it. And it looks like it did stay inbounds on the backside of that green, so fortunate result for him.
Similar looking shot there for Ethan.
This one's a little low for Ian. We'll see if it can clear the rocks.
Fortunately does not. And also shout out to Patrick Core from Patchwork for jumping in and coming in clutch with some of this catch cam footage here on hole 17.
This is more of the standard play you see most players take. Like I said, plenty of room out there on the right side. So Eli is just fine with that forehand fading out at the end, giving him that circle's edge look. So, oh my God, just look at these trees.
It's insane.
It is so windy. This is a tough putt for Harry. And yeah, that wind just knocked it straight down.
Great commitment there for Eli. It's been a long couple of days for these players at some long courses, and I'm sure they are ready to be out of this wind and sit down for a little bit.
Yeah, this is a course that is physically exhausting. Just the hiking up and down the hills, throwing a lot of long shots, a lot of driver shots. Um, it is it is quite a test physically, and I know, at least
And
speaking
mentally.
on my own, for myself, you get used to when you walk up to 18's tee pad finally after climbing yet another hill. You're feeling it. So that doesn't make that water carry any less scary. That we'll see here in just a second.
Oh
Wow.
no.
So Braeden finds the left side out of bounds. That is not a mistake you see too often on this hole. And unfortunately, all out of bounds on the tee shots of 18 do go to that drop zone, which is the short tee. So he basically just has to end up pitching up to the bottom of the hill. Harry's got a little bit of a cushion here now going into 18, this par 5, 910 feet. Just an absolute monster of a finishing hole. That's really the only way to describe it.
This course starts big and ends big. That's for sure.
Yeah, big wind, right to left crosswind for these players. So you got to trust a stable disc out wide. Know the wind's going to kind of bring it back. Depending on where you cross, it's anywhere from a 340-foot water carry to closer to 400 feet if you go to the corner.
And in this position, Harry's probably checking scores. He's just wanting to play it safe, stay in bounds, stay in the fairway, and not minimize any mistakes possible.
Yeah, any sort of par or even a single bogey here is going to be just fine for Harry to take this one down. Rest of our card obviously looking to finish strong. Ian's putting a massive move on this one. I think this is going to be in a great spot with his distance. Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
That's right where you'd love to drop your disc.
Yeah, second shot here is interesting. Most players are going to throw this forehand that Ethan is lining up to try to climb the second hill. It is a very touchy turnover backhand to throw to get that angle right and keep it kind of drifting left to right the entire way. And Harry doesn't quite turn this one enough, so he's going to find that backside rough. Not out of bounds back there, but will most likely be a difficult lie.
And unsurprisingly, 18 is playing as the second hardest hole in the day, and you can see why.
Yeah.
A lot of teeth.
Yeah, a lot of teeth, a lot of big numbers, right? I mean, there are many players in this field that are not clearing that water on their tee shot, and the hole doesn't get any easier after that. So it plays tough as we check back in with Braeden, looking to get up and down to save his bogey. That is a good upshot. He's going to go on to tap that one in. So still a great round from Braeden's sides, putting the pressure on Harry Chace at the top, but just kind of ran out of steam at the end.
Yeah, and tons of great performances from the Chace card in general. So, like I said earlier, really fun to have that extra coverage here.
Yeah, and let us know in the comments what you thought about our cut to the chases. If you enjoyed that little bit of extra coverage, or if it was too difficult to follow, we would love your feedback. That's a great scramble shot from a knee in the woods from Ethan to give himself an outside look at the birdie, I believe.
A lot of positivity from this card too. You love to hear the camaraderie and everybody's giving the great shot, letting them know when they're inbounds and that.
Yeah, we have definitely seen some some roller coaster rounds from a few of these guys, and they've tried to keep the spirits high. I mean, when you're playing at a course like Lake Marshall, it's hard to be too upset on a beautiful day like this.
Right on it. Yep.
Just a couple of pitch ups. Eli's got a outside look at a birdie to finish his day, just a bit low. So we're going to see some tap-ins here from the card. And after a roller coaster round, Harry Chace was really able to put it together on the back nine, put together a strong finish, and he's going to be your 2025 Lake Marshall champion. We'll turn it over to John Biscoe for the awards presentation.
First of all, I need to thank some people. Thanks Prodigy Discs for making this all possible. And more than anything else, thanks to the Hutt family and the extended Lake Marshall family for making this all possible. Gary, get well soon. Your 2025 Lake Marshall Open champion is Harry Chace.
Woo. Incredible performance out there.
Cool. Just quickly, thank you, John and staff out here. There's a reason I altered my schedule this year to come to this tournament, because it's one of the best. And yeah, nothing like Lake Marshall. Since the first time here 3 years ago, it's been my favorite place to play a tournament. So thank you to crew, thank you Discmania, thank you all my sponsors, thank you everybody.
Great win. And like you mentioned, big shout out to Biscoe as well for putting on this amazing event. What a round.
What a round indeed. Yeah, looking at those scores. So the rainbow continued on the back nine. Plenty of ups, plenty of downs, and it was exciting to watch. But at the end of the day, the most consistent player won. Harry Chace was able to kind of steady the ship and put together 3 solid rounds to win this tournament. Shout outs to Braeden Sides and Lucas Oberholzer Hess for tying with the hot round at 7 under par. That is some impressive stuff in that wind.
And as always, thank you for joining us, and make sure you like and subscribe, because we have some exciting coverage coming up for Mind Kill of MPO and FPO. So hit those buttons and follow along for some goodies.
We'll see you soon.